What are your, Reuven Peskin, what are your initial thoughts on Robert Alter's translation of the Hebrew Bible? I just downloaded it on Audible. I've had it on my Kindle for a couple of years. I like Alter's translation. If you guys don't know, Robert Alter is a literary critic, and he very attuned to narrative. He wrote a book called The Art of Biblical Narrative, and then he wrote The Art of Biblical Poetry, and then he wrote a small book that I just read 2 weeks ago, maybe last week, The Art of Bible Translation. I like it. I think Robert Alter does a great job. He pulls out literary aspects of the text that go unnoticed by people who don't have an ear for Hebrew, which I would put myself in that category. I can decipher Hebrew, I can translate Hebrew, but I can't hear it. I can't pick up on accents, figures of speech, things like that. I have to have help to do that. Alter does a great job. My one critique of Alter is sometimes I think he's a little more iconoclastic than he needs to be, or contrarian than he needs to be. I think he's very opinionated about when translations he thinks gets it wrong. And there are times when I'm like, no, I don't think they're wrong. I think that's a viable way of translating it, and you just prefer this way. So, I mean, that's a critique with any translator, but I like it as long as you don't make it more than it is. It is one person's translation. So just like N.T. Wright's New Kingdom translation for the New Testament, or the Kingdom I forgot what N.T. Wright's translation is called, but it's a New Testament translation, or Scott McKnight's translation of the New Testament, or John Goldengay's translation of the Old Testament. Any translation done by just one person should be taken, but it also shouldn't be, latched onto. In general, like Eugene, there's some that aren't translations that shouldn't be used. Eugene Peterson, the Message, he did not intend it to be a translation. So this is sort of a rabbit trail, but since we asked about Robert Alter and individual translations, Peterson didn't want his Bible to be seen as the Bible. The Message is intended to be a paraphrase of the Bible, to help get you thinking about the text in a way that maybe you haven't before in a modern setting. So people that take the Message to church as their Bible, that drives me crazy. Don't do that. Eugene Peterson wouldn't have wanted that. Bible publishers should not ever have offered that as a thing. They should have always made clear that this is a paraphrase. If anything, it should only be printed alongside other actual translations. But I don't think it's bad. I just think it's not a Bible translation. And Peterson would probably have agreed with that. The other one to stay away from is the Passion Translation. I do side with Mike Winger on this, and I think he's done a great job of getting evangelical scholars to come on and show why, just as a translation, it's not good. It's not a translation. It's a paraphrase. But then also what he's shown from Brian Simmons' own words about the translation is just nonsense claims. Secret Aramaic originals, and God divinely downloading secret Hebrew knowledge into it. I mean, just nonsense. So yeah, stay away from the Passion Translation. I don't think it's one of those things that we can be like, it's okay, but just don't reward nonsense would be my suggestion. Robert Alter's Hebrew Bible, it's not nonsense. It's a fine translation. Just keep in mind it's one person's translation.